of protection will there be for its physical and intellectual property? Foreign investors into the BRI take comfort that the systems are set up and overseen by British-designed frameworks, which have a reputation for transparency and for maintaining law and order in financial matters. The second reason why China wants to partner with Britain on the BRI is because of Britain's infrastructural expertise. Britain has many large corporations, such as Mott MacDonald, such as Standard Chartered Bank, that have been running similar projects for the past 100 years. That is why, so far, British legal firm Linklaters has given legal advice to more than 40 Belt and Road deals, while Herbert Smith Freehills, another law firm, has advised Belt and Road projects in more than 30 countries, with clients including the Silk Road Fund, Poly GCL Petroleum Group, and Beijing Gas Group. London-based BMI Research also uses its economics data and analysis to advise some of China's largest infrastructure, power, and manufacturing companies, including the State Grid Corporation of China, China International United Petroleum and Chemicals Company, and the telecommunications giant Huawei, to make investment decisions in Belt and Road countries. Rolls-Royce has recently partnered with CROC, the Chinese railroads company, on the BRI, providing locomotive engines for the trains running through Eurasia. Rolls-Royce has several other potential partnerships in the pipeline, not just on railways, but also on maritime and aviation projects. The third and often overlooked reason is Britain's regional expertise. It is crucial that many of the countries on the BRI route are already strategic partners of Britain. These include countries like Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Kazakhstan, Myanmar, Hong Kong and Singapore, Sudan, Kenya, Zimbabwe and Tanzania. Many are former British colonies or protectorates. But this time around, instead of operating as colonial rulers or occupiers, the British are operating as the middlemen. The regional expertise is not just around engineering, law and finance, but most significantly pertains to security. Britain has deep security and intelligence know-how in these territories. China is relatively isolated politically in some of these areas and needs to secure its investments in the Middle East and Central Asia. Both countries have a joint interest in fighting terrorism and extremism. These are the reasons why China believes that Britain is its natural partner in the West, and which other Western companies and countries need to take account of when competing for access and influence. When studying these projects, it is worth noting that we are only in the opening phase of the BRI rollout. There is a well-known expression in China, which the ambassador today already referred to. Ya xiang fu, xian shulu. If you want to be rich, build a road first. This is why China is building a road and rail network that links the whole Eurasian continent from Madrid to Vladivostok. But the BRI project is much bigger than that. When the roads are built, it is likely that China will start a new round of development. We can take clues for what this second phase of development will look like from the Chinese priorities outlined in the last Wunian Jihua, the last 5-year plan. One of the key priorities is innovation, which looks at R&D capacity, internet, biopharmaceuticals, new materials, high-speed rail, satellites, ocean engineering, semiconductors, venture funding for incubators, and digital banking. China also cares deeply about green development and is looking for projects that can help it become the world leader in electric cars, vertical forests, sponge cities, pollution control, safe food, charge boats for cars, and sustainable energy. These are the areas where Swedish scientists, researchers, designers and engineers should be looking at now. These are the areas where Swedish universities should be trying to create solutions. One of the challenges China has found when going out with the BRI is the fluidity of other political systems, not just in Europe but also in Central Asia. Unlike in China, where leadership is stable, governments and leaderships can change overnight, reversing political decisions and altering the course of future engagement. Sweden, I believe, can learn something valuable from the case of the UK. During the premiership of David Cameron, it was well known that he favoured closer relations with China. Britain became the first Western country to join the AIIB and pledged £50 billion towards the first AIIB fund. That government also set up the Shanghai-London Connect, which will open next year and will allow international investors to trade offshore RMB-denominated products, including stocks, bonds and currencies on the London bourse. The Cameron government also set up UK Export Finance, an office which will provide £25 billion of new business for projects along the BRI route. However, when Cameron left office, the feeling toward China changed. Prime Minister Theresa May has expressed concern over Chinese investment into strategic assets like the Brinkley power plants, the nuclear power plants. In January of this year, while on a state visit to Beijing, she refused to publicly endorse the BRI. Part of her caution comes from the uncertainty Brexit has created, making it difficult for the UK to commit to any one path. It is well known by now that Britain is likely to get a generous trade deal